Hi everybody, today is Monday, October 28th, 2019. I'm at Dyckman Street at the border of Inwood at Broadway and Dyckman Street. The time right now is 12:45 p.m. Temperature is 63 degrees Fahrenheit, 17 degrees Celsius. And today I'm going to take you on a tour of Inwood in Manhattan. This is the northernmost neighborhood on Manhattan Island. The northernmost neighborhood in Manhattan is actually Marble Hill, which used to be connected to the island, but it was completely cut off during the construction of the bridges there that straightened the Harlem River. Inwood is served by the A train and the 1 train. Dyckman Street is one of its main streets through the area. You can find a lot of good eating spots here and different places. But I'm going to take a walk up Broadway all the way to the end just to show you how it is. Here's Starbucks. It was rumored in this neighborhood that Peter Minuit, the Director General of the Dutch colony of New Netherland, bought the Manhattan Island from the Indians in Inwood. It was here that Manhattan was founded by the Dutch. This neighborhood was actually a very, very rural area up until the early 20th century, once the subway came here. And then this area started to develop around the subway. That's usually how a lot of New York City neighborhoods are built. Once a subway gets into a far-reaching part of the city, development gets started. If I were to quiz anyone on this street and let them guess what neighborhood it is in New York City, they would never guess that this is in Manhattan if they haven't seen it before. This resembles a lot of quiet neighborhoods in Brooklyn, the Bronx, Staten Island, and Queens. Here's Academy Street. At 204th Street, there's also the Dyckman Farmhouse. It's the city's only remaining Dutch colonial farmhouse, and it was built around 1764. So we get to see a 1764 house in New York City that's still around. The only one of its kind. This farmhouse actually had a lot of history to it. It was built by the grandson of Jan Dyckman, who came to the area in 1661. He replaced the current house with another house. Well, I'm reading this wrong. He built another house to replace the family house that was there. The original house was destroyed in the American Revolutionary War, so that's pretty interesting. This house is currently constructed of fieldstone brick and white clapboard. It stayed in the family until 1868, where it served as a rental property for many decades. By the beginning of the 20th century, the house was in major disrepair, and in 1915, the Dyckman family actually bought the house back. And actually, this house was renovated by the Dyckman family, and then it was turned over to the city of New York. So here it is, a 1700 era Dutch farmhouse in New York City, the only one of its kind. Unfortunately, the gate wasn't open, so we can't go onto the grounds to see it, but it's still pretty impressive to see here. Can't go up from this way either, the gate's locked. There's a supermarket here, the Seatown and Rite Aid. So this is 207th Street, another main street through the area. This is also the terminal station for the A train. You can see here all the way down 207th Street, there's a lot of businesses lined on both sides of the street. $3 for $4 mangoes and 2 for $3. Here we have a bank across the street. Used to be Harlem Savings Bank from the facade, but now it's Apple Bank. Yummy Thai home cooking. I like the name of this restaurant. Boo Ni Coffee. Kind of matches in with the theme of Halloween coming in soon. Here's a very, very interesting looking church. The Church of the Living God, the Pillar of Truth. That's what it says on the top of the door there. But it does say over here that it's the Capuchin Franciscans of Good Shepherd. Beautiful fall colors across the street there. I love this business's Halloween decorations. Grandpa's Pizza, they got even a spider in the tree. Here's Isham Park. So the last block on Manhattan Island is 220th Street. Unless you count 9th Avenue, which curves around only a block more. So I have about 8 or 9 blocks left on Manhattan Island. And then I think I'll take you through the grounds of the Columbia Athletic Complex and maybe a little bit through Inwood Hill Park as well. That'll be a nice little detour. There's the 1 train off in the distance. It'll make a stop at 215th Street. Here's Mara Mana. And Carrot Top Pastries, although looks like this building's for lease now. Guacamole Takira. Over here is the newly reconstructed Park Terrace. I think maybe I'll climb these steps and then walk back down. If anyone's seen my concourse and High Bridge walk, I walked the Joker stairs. This is kind of familiar to that one, although these are definitely much better maintained than that one. If you watch this video this far, then you know I did that video the same day as this one, as well as my High Bridge walk and also the Washington Heights walk. So I did a lot of walking today, yet I'm still climbing stairs. This one even counts the number of steps for you. 77 steps. It's 110 steps at the 215th Street Step Street, because the terrain here is very, very steep and vehicles can't come here, so that's why the city installed the step street. It's a good way to get some exercise too. Okay, now it's time to go back down, and you can see the view from here, what it looks like. If you want to do a Joker impression here, you can too. But I think that one in Shakespeare Avenue and Jerome Avenue in the Bronx has more significance, because that was the actual one that was done in the movie. Here's the entrance to 215th Street on the number 1 train, the subway stop. Here you can see exactly why those step streets were needed, because that's a very, very thick sheet of rock that one would have to climb in order to get up there. Here's Inwood Hill's Spirits and Vine Room. Looks like a very good place to go. Here's some auto body places. Speaking of which, I do believe there's a beautiful arch inside that tire place. I remember hearing about it from somewhere. coastal storm emergency route. That's an interesting design to have on the bus. The other one I saw too was I Love New York. Great shot of the #1 train coming down Broadway and now 9th Avenue. And here's another one coming the other way. To my left is the Columbia Athletic Center. Columbia being Columbia University. They have multiple locations and centers throughout New York City. The main ones being the Columbia Athletic Center, the Columbia University main campus, and the Columbia University Medical Center. Don't know exactly what's up with all these police barriers here. Maybe they use them for storage or they're expecting an event soon. Make a left here for New York's #1 hospital. Here it is, the highest numbered street in the borough of Manhattan. Well, I should say the island of Manhattan, because Manhattan continues onto the mainland as Marble Hill, but this is 220th Street. And here's 9th Avenue. I just reached the end of Manhattan Island. This is the Broadway Bridge connecting the neighborhoods of Inwood to Marble Hill and to the Bronx. So I'm going to walk back right now and show you the Columbia University Athletic Center, as well as part of Inwood Hill Park. was some pretty poor driving there. We're back here at the random police barriers that I still don't know what they're used for. Okay, time to make a right here and show you Columbia University's Athletic Center and Inwood Hill Park. Here's the athletics complex. Wow, there's a lot of construction happening up that block. Everywhere you go in Manhattan, there's construction, even in the northernmost neighborhood on Manhattan Island. Can't get away from it. I hope I'll be able to get away from some construction at Inwood Hill Park. Here's the Columbia Athletic Center. take a look at this home across the street too. Looks like a very old home. It's definitely very, very steep here. I'm getting a workout doing all these walks in Upper Manhattan and the Bronx. Here's a combination track and field, football and soccer field. So here's the track and field. Here's Muscota Marsh, maintained by Columbia University and open to the public. The recreation field isn't open to the public, but this is. It's also very steep. I have to control myself to not go down so fast. Some information about Muscota Marsh. That big C, by the way, is the Columbia Rock. Many people actually die from the rock when the circle line is approaching and create quite a big crowd for all the people on the boat. It's a very beautiful marsh area. That over there in the distance is the Henry Hudson Bridge, connecting the neighborhood of Marble Hill. All right, let's see where this leads us on the other side. There's some seagulls over here enjoying and wading in the low waters.
Yeah, before he left. I mean, he was working when I went up there.
I see there's some tires in the water there as well. I believe this is a maple tree. A lot of its leaves are gone already.